when it comes on to these matters. So
Yeah, and he did mention his friend from Mannings, so that kind of sent off an alert on my phone. But
I'm sorry, I didn't
yes.
hear that. I didn't hear that at all. So
Oh, okay.
my ears are not tuned to hear such information.
Well, my smartphone kind of bring up anything like that when it is mentioned. All right, Dervan, you have a good weekend. I will talk.
You too. Take care. Thanks for the call.
All right,
Bye
bye.
bye.
All right, bye.
This is your program, Sides of the Story, Pora 106 FM. That was Steve in Toronto, Canada. He runs a couple of outfits. Let's see, yardmarket.com, yardlinks.com, and yardtraders.com, among other things. Good to hear from you, Steve. Here's Nardia. She says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Birthday greetings to my nephew, Mario. Enough love and blessings." Good afternoon, Mario. Enough love and blessings coming from Nardia. All the best, Mario. 876-922-4112 are the numbers to call. 876-922-4112. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. Driver has rejoined us. Connection still a little iffy, and the word reconnecting is on the screen right now, and the call has dropped. Not sure what is causing that, but that is where it's at right now. There's a story here as well. Trinidad looking to adopt Jamaica's social housing program. Government representatives from Trinidad and Tobago are now here in Jamaica to observe the country's new social housing program with a view to adopting the initiative. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the disclosure during a ceremony for the handover of a housing unit in Kellett's Clarendon yesterday. Secretary for Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development in the Tobago House of Assembly, Ian Pollard, and Social Intervention Officer Jimmy Sylvester, who have been in Jamaica since last Friday, the 4th of November, attended the ceremony. Noting the role of members of parliament in the selection of recipients of the program, Holness told the Trinidadian officials that they may consider including a similar element in their own program. And the story goes on. And there are a lot of other meetings to come. Apparently, the Trinidadians will be meeting with the principals of the housing program and representatives of the National Housing Trust. Let's see what comes out of that. In the meantime, more messages coming in. Who is this now? Nardia says he's from St. Andrew. Well, I'm sure he's not the only Mario in St. Andrew, so you might want to be a little more specific, as well as leaving it as it is. So happy birthday to your nephew, Mario, from the parish of St. Andrew. Earl Allen, good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for connecting. Good to have you on board. And keep those messages coming in as we look out for them on WhatsApp and the text line. They are one and the same. 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. And we're still taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. 876 922 411 225. And let's see. All right, so right, Carnival is in the news as well. Apparently, a couple of the Carnival camps have joined forces for Carnival in Jamaica next year. Exodus and Bacchanal, Jamaica. So that's another updated story coming through on the Gleaners website, jamaica-gleaner.com. And another example of using one's established position to create opportunities. There's a story that Stoke City has renamed a bar Ricardo's after Jamaican legend. The story is Stoke City have never hidden their love for former number 10 and reggae boy Ricardo Fuller. Just recently, Fuller returned to Stoke as an academy coach, and now the club has paid further homage to the former reggae boy by renaming Delilah's, the club's sports bar, Ricardo's. Fuller played at the Bet 365 Stadium for 6 seasons, helping the Potters to the Premier League and making sure they stayed there. The refurbishing of the sports bar came at a cost of £2.5 million. That's 400 and what did they convert this to? I'm not sure if it's Jamaican or US. So let's just go with the pounds for the time being. £2.5 million. The refurbished sports club with a new kitchen on its second floor to add to its ground floor conveniences is set to be officially opened on November 24. On November 25, when England play against the United States, the sports club will entertain patrons while streaming the game. The promotion will be repeated on November 29 when England play Wales. Ricardo's will first be opened on a match day for Stoke on December 10 when they play Cardiff City. All the best to Ricardo Fuller, and he obviously must have developed quite a reputation all round to be able to experience such an honor. All the best, Ricardo Fuller. As we continue with more on your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112 876-922-4112. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. That number is 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. Perhaps have a few unread messages left. Maybe we can we take one more? Let's see. Oh, let's take the break and come back.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5 menos 15. ¿Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5 heures moins 15. Tiens, tidien là. Wo dien cha shirufen. 15 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned into both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida is reminding us, well, uh, he's mentioning that last evening there was the town hall involving candidates for the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council, and he has shared the link for those who missed it. Sean Williams says he's listening to us in London. Welcome, Sean Williams, and all the other Jamaicans and friends of Jamaica in London. Cherry Henry, good afternoon. Thank you for being one of our regular listeners, Cherry Henry. And good afternoon as well to Donovan Longmore. Blessings to you too. Thank you. Velta Wilson, good to see you online as well. Thank you all so much for making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5, 876-922-4112 to 5. And let's share with you another bit of information. Let's go to the archives. Guess who was born on this day? Born on this day in 1983, Barrington Irving. He was born at St. Joseph's Hospital in Kingston and grew up in Marley Hill, St. Catherine. Barrington Irving is the youngest and the first person of African descent to fly solo around the world. Barrington Irving moved from Kingston to South Florida at the age of 6, and like so many Jamaican youths, grew up in the inner city of Miami. He did well in high school, but saw a football scholarship as the only route to college. Despite a feeling of hopelessness about his future, Barrington Irving, at age 15, latched onto the dream of becoming a pilot. He began pursuing his goal by doing odd jobs and practicing flying on his $40 Microsoft simulator software. His life changed when he met a Jamaican United Airlines captain, Gary Robinson, who took an interest in the young man's future. Captain Robinson's mentoring and encouragement helped motivate Barrington to earn his pilot's licenses as he worked toward a college degree. Irving turned down multiple football scholarship offers with his sights set on aviation. In 2003, at age 20, Barrington founded the nonprofit organization Experience Aviation, EA Incorporated, to introduce other young people to the field of aviation. In November 2006, with the help of local and federal grants, he opened the first EA Learning Center in Miami. The center offers aviation, education, and career guidance programs to middle and high school students. The aim is to motivate youth and address the significant shortage of younger, technically skilled professionals in aviation, aerospace, and other related career fields. On March 23, 2007, Barrington Irving, a 23-year-old senior majoring in aerospace at Florida Memorial University, climbed into a single-engine plane called Inspiration and embarked on a 26,800-mile round the world flight. He took off from Miami in a single engine aircraft, a Columbia 400, named the Inspiration. It was manufactured and assembled by the Columbia Aircraft Manufacturing Company in 2005, classified as a standard aircraft in the utility category, using more than $300,000 in donated parts. When he took off, some 3,000 students and well wishers cheered him on. Over the next 3 months, he flew 26,800 miles, traversing 4 continents and encountering snow, rain, sandstorms, and monsoons along the way. His journey took 97 days and included 27 stops around the world. He landed at the Opa-locka Airport in Miami, Florida, on this day in 2007, after more than 130 hours on a 97-day, 26,800-mile world flight adventure. The journey included stops in the Azores, Spain, Greece, Egypt, Dubai, India, Thailand, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Japan. On his return, he was celebrated for setting 2 world records: the world's youngest and first black man to set 2 world records by flying solo around the globe. In fact, he was given the keys to the city of Miami, and June 27 was proclaimed Barrington Irving Day. Barrington Irving was honored by the government of Jamaica when he visited on August 3, 2007. He was awarded the Order of Distinction Commander class. So now you know Barrington Irving, CD, a Jamaican, completed his round-the-world trip on this day in 2007, becoming the first black pilot and youngest person ever to fly solo around the world. Had to be a Jamaican. Here's a little more on the history. It goes back. Barrington Irving stands on the shoulders of giants, because then we could go back to Albert E. Forsyth, Forsyth. Albert E. Forsyth was born in Nassau, Bahamas in 1897, but grew up in Port Antonio, Jamaica. His father, Horatio A. Forsyth, was Bahamian, but his mother, Lillian Maud, née Bindloss, was Jamaican. His father worked for the United Fruit Company and later became a well-known civil engineer, architect, and builder. Young Albert thus received his early education in Port Antonio, attending elementary and secondary school there during the time when Major W.H. Plant was headmaster of Titchfield High School. Major Plant later said he had the greatest pleasure in training Albert and helping to shape him for his life's work. In 1911, at age 14, Albert Forsyth left Jamaica to continue his education, first at the Tuskegee Institute and later at the universities of Illinois and Toledo, Ohio in the United States, where he graduated with the degree of Bachelor of Science. A year later, he began the study of medicine at McGill University in Canada, graduating in 1930 with the degrees of Doctor of Medicine and Doctor of Surgery. Dr. Forsyth started his medical practice in Atlantic City, where he met C. Alfred Chief Anderson in 1932. Soon after, Anderson had received his commercial and air transport pilot license, the first Black American to do so. The two became close friends, and Forsyth soon received his private pilot license. In July 1933, Anderson and Forsyth completed a flight from Atlantic City to Los Angeles and back. Their Fairchild 24, the pride of Atlantic City, had no parachutes, landing lights, radio, or blind flying instruments, and much of their navigation was accomplished using a road map. This was the first such transcontinental flight by black aviators. In 1934, the two pilots planned a goodwill tour of the Caribbean and South America, the first black pilots to undertake such a flight. After extensive planning and with financial and moral support from black Americans, the two set off from Atlantic City in the plane they had named Booker T. Washington in the early morning of November 8. After touching down twice in the USA, they reached Nassau, their first Caribbean destination, in the late afternoon of November 9. They first sighted Jamaica at Buff Bay and then circled over Port Antonio, where a large crowd cheered them on as they flew on to Kingston, landing at Up Park Camp. They were warmly received at the Ward Theatre, followed by an evening dinner party. The next day, they returned to Port Antonio, landing at Carter Park before continuing their flight south. After the Goodwill Tour, Dr. Forsyth gave up flying and practiced medicine in New Jersey until 1978. Another outstanding Jamaican of international repute. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Friday, the 11th of the 11th, 2022. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on, nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns Monday afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
I don't go there anymore. Yes, I say it once before, and I can see it twice again. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Yeah, I made up my mind it's you good all the time. Cause all the time I found myself walking on the line. When I was a little boy, my parents used to say, a man must do good all the time, all the time, all the time. I would like to find a friend who really has the love. Good man in this world is very hard to find. I know there is a future, and I've got to find a way to keep on doing good all the time, all the time, all the time. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Bye.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible. Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's News at 5